This platform might actually explode on Kirkiversary.
Counting or not counting gang violence.
It's so funny that conservatives are like, how dare you guys sing We Are Charlie Kirk at a rally? I don't even know what to say about this. Like, do they not know that basically what happened is like everybody was shocked. Everybody was horrified by his assassination, myself included, you know? I watched it damn near real time as it was unfolding. And then the conservatives went in extra hard and were like, oh, you literally have to say Charlie Kirk is awesome or else we'll fire you. And then everyone was like, yeah, actually, no, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, we're not going to do that. And then because the conservative movement was so aggressive in their posture, so aggressive in their hagiography, so aggressive in their martyrization of Charlie Kirk, that there was like an understandable, dare I say, inevitable backlash to it, where people responded by, you know, Kirkification memes, making Kirkifications happen. The answer to this isn't to say, oh, he's been jamming to the Charlie Kirk shit for months. Who gives a fuck? You guys are being so silly with that. The answer to that is you're pearl clutching. You're pearl clutching because this isn't him like belittling Charlie Kirk's assassination or mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination or celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. This is, you know, carrying the flame. Republicans hate when people give back like a fraction of the energy that they put out there. Charlie Kirk is now a character in internet brain rot. Children see Kirk on the same level as Tung Tung Sahur. The war is over, guys. Nobody cares about the cult of reverence anymore. They haven't since a month after he died. Exactly. So I don't know what the fuck these guys are holding on to. And I think another part of the reason why it just, you know, I guess they would be less mad if I had fireworks on stage like his wife. Is that the only way to honor it? Is that why they were mad? Because I was singing the song, but I didn't have the accompanying flares? Is that why? Yeah, I think this is them gearing up for the Kirkiversary. They're going to do a new wave of manufactured outrage for the Kirkiversary, you know? I mean, this is about to be one AK, dude. One after Kirk. We're in the BK right now. This is literally one BK, by the way. This is one before Kirk, right? Technically. Well, not one. This is the first. This is the end of one AK. We're about to enter year one. We're in zero AK. Zero after Kirk. We're still in zero after Kirk. We're about to be in one after Kirk. So, yeah. This is the one where he comes back, actually. Yeah. It's just like, it's tough for me to act the way you want me to act with like respect and reverence when you have no respect, you know? And I don't even mean like, oh, this is hypocritical. You guys don't show any respect to anybody. I just mean like, you didn't show respect to Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Yeah, I always disagreed with him. I don't think he should have been fucking assassinated. And, you know, I made that very clear from the jump. But the idea that I'm supposed to fucking sit there and be like, you know, this guy was doing politics the right way. This guy he was a good actor for American politics. Like, that was the demand from these fucking animals. And I was never going to do that. I was never going to lie. And my position on Charlie Kirk was very clear, obviously, right? I wrote about it. There was extensive coverage on my opinion on Kirk, my anger and frustration towards those who were engaging in, you know, ridiculous revisionist history about his background. I was about to debate him. He got killed. People of importance get assassinated. Yeah, look, what's frustrating to me about this whole process is like, there's an entire sea of Kirk profiteers, if you want to call it that. His wife is one of them. I think I'm far more respectful I'm just making fun of the fact that people were demanding this reverence, this great respect. They made this song. It's not my motherfucking fault that the goddamn song is a banger. Clan has been shamelessly profiteering off of his death and endlessly attacking his widow for a year. Excuse me. We are clandestine operators. Excuse me. To be fair, you come across as kind of sarcastic about liking it. Okay, I am being sincere about my appreciation for the song. Unfortunately, I wish I was fucking joking. I do sincerely enjoy the song. So here's the thing. I'm not even dignifying them with a response. What I will say is this. I expect Republicans to do this shit. I think if you are a liberal and you lean into the Republican pearl clutching operation around the martyrization of Charlie Kirk, by my estimation, you're lower than the Republicans. You are the dog shit that is stuck to the bottom of my shoe. So if you're a liberal and you hate me and you're like, this is a great opportunity, I'm going to use this as a moment. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to really stick it to this guy, to show all of these other liberals out there that I'm the good one. I'm the good liberal. Let me tell you something. I don't respect you. I will never respect you. The Republicans will never respect you, especially because you have no respect for yourself. You are a horrifyingly reduced piece of shit that will never see the gates of heaven. If you're one of these liberals, these self-identifying liberals who comes out and agrees with the Republicans in a moment like this when they're doing an outrage manufacturing campaign, I don't even give a shit. I don't even care about the Republicans doing it. I expect the Republicans to do it. Of course they're going to do that. But if you fucking lean into their pearl clutching operation, you're fucking worse than they are. You're a nasty little pervert. You're a freak ass bitch. Never in a fucking million years. Yeah, this is one of those freak ass bitches I'm talking about. This David Mauricio guy, he's doing it because he wants to position himself as like the anti-Hassan liberal because he wants clout. This is the first and last time I will ever mention this little worm. All of those unfuck America losers, bro. Oh my God. This fucking dickhead shook hands with that white supremacist, Jake Lang. I thought he was fine. I thought he was like a Jubilee libtard. I thought he was, fine. He does decent on those debates. Turns out he's not. He made a whole video being like, Hasan Piker's a right-wing psyop. These motherfuckers were selling We Carry on the Flame, Unfuck America, Charlie Kirk lighters, bro. These are the motherfuckers who are complaining. Motherfuckers who made Charlie Kirk memes themselves. I mean, they don't even, you can tell these people have no honor. They have no self-respect. They have no consistency. They have no consistent positions at all. It's just pure grift. And if you get your news and information from these dildos, you're a fucking idiot too. Sorry. There is perhaps no greater indication of someone's dishonesty than a person like this leaning into the right-wing manufactured outrage pearl clutching campaign that I am addressing and making fun of when they themselves have also done it. Shannon Watts is another one of these fucking losers. I'm going to tell you right now, there are vultures out here, some of which are just straight up operating as Hasbara mercenaries. Shannon Watts is one of them. Shannon Watts, David LaRosa, like those guys are, they're doing this because they recognize that whatever remains of their career relies on getting money from big donors that care a lot about Israel, right? Neera Tanden is another one of them. But then there's also the classic, like, I'm going to take the oppositional position to whatever Hassan is saying, like Asmongold. Here's Asmongold talking about how it's really fucked up.
I think this stuff is disgusting, and I think that the people that are enabling it and the fact that he has people on his podcasts that are doing this with him and they're singing along to somebody who is promoting terrorism and everything else, the reason why they're singing about the We Are Charlie Kirk and everything else, the reason why they're doing this is because
guy who recently ate a 14-day ban for advocating to murder children, like shoot children with a gun, is back pearl clutching about how we choose to continue carrying the fucking flame. Guy who wants to murder children has the moral position here, apparently.
They support killing Charlie Kirk. That's the reason why they're doing it. They're not doing it because they think it's fun.
What's funny about it is these guys, pearl clutchers,
they're not doing it because they want to, make it a meme or whatever. They're doing it because they want to turn killing Charlie Kirk into a funny thing that isn't weaponized against them. That's clearly what the goal is. The song's just a meme. I agree with you, the song is just a meme. But can you understand the difference between Hasan going and doing this versus somebody else? The difference is that whenever he's doing that, he's doing it because he agrees with it. He wants to see people.
What? Even his own audience is like, it's a meme, dog. Calm the fuck down. Legalize comedy.
Like this shot. That's the reason why he uses the red.
I like it. He's just like, no, Hasan is not allowed to. And then look at Asmongold defending it in December 2025.
Who do I look like?
You look like Charlie Kirk, bro.
He does. He does. You do. What do you mean? It does look like him. Here's my outlook. I've been making jokes about George Floyd for years. Why can't people make a joke about Charlie Kirk? Fuck, like, it's one thing to be doing it the day he gets killed, right? But like, people doing it now, like, this is a while ago.
I love that this was back in December, but now even more months have passed, and now it's like, well, yeah, it's not funny.
Thing that isn't weaponized against them. That's clearly what the goal is. The song's just a meme. I agree with you, the song is just a meme. Oh man, like, of course you got, like, I make jokes about fucking 9/11. I make jokes about all kinds of bad, like, really, really bad stuff that has that happen. So if people complain, big difference, man? Not really. I mean, I make 9/11 jokes.
I love that his entire argument is, I'm not allowed to do it. Like, he just openly says it too. He's like, no, everyone else is allowed to do this joke. It's just only Hasan is not allowed to do this. Okay. Why? Because I don't like him.
All kinds of jokes like that. But the problem is that I think it's okay, in my opinion, to tell a joke. The problem is whenever some people aren't joking. That's really the issue. And so that's really tell a joke. Which one?
And he'll say, oh, well, Hasan is not joking. Yes, I am. The fuck do you mean? X said you singing it was advocating for political violence. Again, no respect for these people. They are worm-like individuals, lower than dirt. My opinion on these people couldn't get lower. XQC, Asmongold, a lot of these people, they don't have any real politics whatsoever. It's just about farming outrage, farming the algorithm. Like, if you're getting your political positions from a guy like Asmongold or XQC, you're not going to make it. XQC would suck off Sex Pestany if he was the one making the same joke. I mean, he said way more heinous shit regardless, but that's it. They're opportunists. It's all drama. It's all algorithm. It's all fucking leaning into outrage manufacturing. Yeah, guy who literally campaigned with Donald Trump is out here talking about how unacceptable. This is a call for violence. Suck my dick. I'm not allowed to fucking crack jokes that everyone else is cracking. Really? That's what we're doing now? What is this fucking SJW ass bullshit? What is this fucking pearl clutching? It clearly doesn't work. Part of the reason why it doesn't work is because we push back against it and we say, you're being ridiculous. We've seen what you've cheered on. We've seen what you fucking got excited for. I'm sorry. This double standard is totally ridiculous. Talking about woke one. You can't behave like this. Jillian Michaels thinks you're Hitler now. We're watching a psychopath in action, and I always wondered how Hitler got millions to kill millions. This certainly gives us some insight. Yeah, I'm between me and Israel's strongest defender, Jillian Michaels. I wonder who's closer to Adolf Hitler. That's the little brief moment of recognition that I wanted to give to this story. There are so many Republicans who are like, we have to kill him now. Like, we have to kill him right now. Someone needs to Kirk him. Someone needs to Kirk him immediately. And it's like, dude, what are you saying? I never advocated for violence against Charlie Kirk. I was literally about to debate him. What the Trump administration tried to do in the aftermath of this, of course, and I've offered analysis on this. It's not new. I've tweeted about this in the past as well, about the Kirkification and all this shit. The real reason why a lot of the Charlie Kirk memes exploded on the internet was because of the way that the Republicans tried to martyrize Charlie Kirk, and it backfired. It backfired for a couple of reasons. One, because we now live in a much more violent environment in general, where people are not going to treat people in death with the dignity that you would normally demand, especially because all people are seeing is violence. They're seeing violence in Gaza. They're seeing violence in their schools. From the perspective of like a Gen Zer growing up in this environment where there's like school shootings happening, mass shootings happening all the time. And then they're like, you know, you have to, this is different. This time it's different. And it's a dude who himself has said school shootings are unfortunately going to continue happening. That's a price I'm, willing to pay for the Second Amendment, because that's what he did. That's what Charlie Kirk literally said. Of course, they're going to be like, all right, well, that's a little crazy. Yeah, we got ICE agents gunning down people in American neighborhoods. And then the entire Republican Party is defending this process, saying they're all fucking terrorists. What are we supposed to do? We can't even crack jokes, not even at the expense of Charlie Kirk necessarily, but more so the entire Republican movement that tried to force reverence. And I talked about this extensively at the time as well, when the Kirkification memes were exploding and people were like trying to figure out what happened here. They were trying to understand it. And I said, look, part of it is because all people have seen is violence. The other part of it is because Republicans tried to crack down on left speech, political dissidents, and aggressively force reverence for a right-wing podcaster, to which people reacted this way about, because they were like, why would we do that? What is this expectation? You can't, on the one hand, design a world that is this violent, and then also on the other hand, say whatever you want to say about George Floyd, say whatever you want to say about black people, brown people, all the time, call us pussies, say we're libtarded, woke, hysterical babies, only to then turn around and be like, no, this is our MLK. You have to respect him. How dare you? You need to get fired. They went after so many goddamn people. They tried to fire people. They were analyzing my reaction to it. And I would go so far as to say my reaction was more human than many on the Republican side's reaction was, including Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk's reaction was strange. The NFL was doing a moment of silence and shit. Yeah, Asmongold was running around. Months after, he was like, well, yeah, everyone makes Charlie Kirk jokes. It's fine. But prior to that, he was actually actively doing the mass phone calls to get people fired, mass harassment, mass doxing campaigns to get people fired. Some of the people that got fired weren't even like saying Charlie Kirk deserved it or anything like that, right? Many of the people that got fired were getting fired because they were like, hey guys, here are some of the quotes that Charlie Kirk has put out there in the world. Here are some of the things that he defended. Can we have an honest assessment about his background? Can we have an honest assessment about what he represented in American politics? People got fired for citing the guy. People got fired for repeating his words. It is ridiculous. This was my post on the Kirkification months ago. I said, this is part of the reason why the We Are Charlie Kirk and the Kirkification memes went insanely viral. You can't mandate reverence for a generation that saw their classmates get slaughtered in school shootings. You cannot forcibly demand empathy for a person who considered empathy to be toxic. Andrew Colvett, even back then, was in my fucking replies being like, no one mandated pro-Charlie posts. All that was asked was that they didn't cheer the assassination of an innocent, peaceful father and husband. I didn't do that, so why are you fucking complaining? I didn't do that back then. I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing that at all. Innocent, peaceful father and husband, not a high bar. If someone couldn't meet the minimum, then employers were provided with an unobstructed view of their employees' depravity. People who are outraged on Twitter always have a past tweet memeing about it too. I think if you have in the past engaged in the exact same thing for other people, for entire races, entire populations of folks, but now you're like, how dare you do this? You're nothing to me, okay? Your opinion doesn't matter. If you literally made Kirkification memes and jokes yourself and are now pearl clutching about this, especially as like someone who is apolitical or like a liberal, you literally should stop. Everyone should constantly remind you of how big of a piece of shit you are, how big of a fucking grifter you are, No one should ever let you get away with it. Charlie would have mourned Hasan. Charlie Kirk on stage mocked the killing of Palestinians in Gaza, made jokes about the destruction of Gaza, and watched his audience laugh along. Lauren Chen, Hasan met Charlie many times. I was on a panel with them at Politicon. They were fiery on stage, but still jovial and amicable with each other once it was done. Charlie would have mourned Hasan had he been shot. Hasan, on the other hand, chooses to mock Charlie for shame. They're trying to do it again. And it's strange to me because while they're trying to do it again, the same like, you have to respect Charlie Kirk, I need to make my position very clear one more time. One, I never called for violence against Charlie Kirk. I was slated to debate him. I met him many times, but that doesn't mean I agreed with him. That doesn't mean that I thought his worldview was anything but toxic, repulsive, odious. I think the violence that he was subjected to was unacceptable, wrong. It's very clear. I've said that from the start. But the idea that like we have to sit here and rewrite his history, we have to sit here and act as though he was a figure that we have to show reverence to, completely ridiculous. Especially when, for the right, their goal has been to farm it to the best of their ability. For some on the right, there are people who wanted to take on his role in the Republican media ecosystem, many of which fought one another and are still warring with one another. For others, it was an opportunity for them to reframe their perspective, like the Nick Fuenteses of the world who have said way more heinous shit about Charlie Kirk than I ever fucking did. Now those guys who spent their entire lives are turning around and trying to present themselves as major defenders of his legacy. Nick Fuentes being one of them. It's fucking bullshit. And yes, Erica Kirk's behavior in the aftermath of Charlie's assassination was also so insane that most normal people who either didn't know anything about Charlie Kirk or may have even liked Charlie Kirk thought that that was a weird thing to do. So why are we forgetting all of that? We're just going to rewrite all that history? I'm not going to let that happen.